Council meetings are long and boring. Wouldn't it be great if they were short and unboring? This is why I've invented the 5. Make it 10. 10-minute meeting. Coming to you live from Masons on Main. Masons on Main. Come on down and buy a burger for crying out loud. Guys just scrambling to get by, okay? I'm back here in the kitchen. It's slaving away. One-man team over here. Masons on Main. Come in for the food and then stay for the food. All right, Ashland City Council meeting of September 16th. This guy says the terrace apartment project on Highway 99, that proposal has been postponed again until November or something. And proclamation of Constitution Week. Whereas, the Constitution was super amazing. I, the mayor of Ashland, declare that September 17th is Constitution and Citizenship Day. Citizens spend time with the Constitution. And then public forum. One lady said regarding that 2,200 Ashland homeless shelter, funding with contingency funds is a problem. And then a lady with a story said, increase your skepticism of our city manager and staff. They just say crazy nonsense. They quote stats that are not true. That's actually 100% an excellent point. Story lady actually nails it. And then a lady in a hat says, city charter says the Parks Commission must report finances monthly because they have excess autonomy, so they require excess accountability. And then a 5G guy, the 5G guy, says this budget meeting minutes thing was a lie. He's been on that for like 9 months now. And then a former naked counselor says, I'm not an environmental scientist, but the city shouldn't do so much thinning in the watershed based on my non-scientific feelings about it. And then an earring lady said, my friends on 4th Street have had 9 animals killed by the fire department trucks. Speed bumps, something. Also, I live next door to a meth lab, and bringing property management to task is what you should do. Pacific Rental does nothing. And then the enhanced enforcement ordinance. So the city manager, Side-Eye Sabrina Cotta, she says, hey, here are some amendments to this ordinance and some things that this is not. A little announcement for you. And then Police Chief Ty O'Mara, he goes, what this is not, it does not remove judicial review and or expand any of the areas or stop access to grocery stores or pharmacies. It just helps us kick out the knuckleheads. And then this one says, Chief, right now, how long does it take to kick out knuckleheads with multiple offenses? And then she says, it's over a year sometimes. And they go, so this will speed it up? And he goes, totally. Almost sounded rehearsed. And this one says, some language is a problem. People come through town for medicine and food unless they can get it in another town. That's kind of a weenie rule right there. And then city attorney, Johan Petia, he says, Johan says, where did he go? Oh, he says, the judge can just grant a variance. And so this guy goes, wait a minute, so the homeless person, after being kicked out of town by the cops, has to go to a judge during judge hours and ask the judge for forgiveness? Seems like a stretch. And this guy goes, what are you going to do, right? He had a lot of man bun energy coming off this guy tonight. All right, it was unfortunately less than helpful. And this guy says, he goes, how about you just add an amendment saying they can cut through town even if they are repeat offenders if they're headed to some nonprofit food place? And this guy goes, he goes, there is an attack on institutions. Criticizing this policy is an attack on the police. All right, that guy says, well, yeah, and we're actually a pretty good police department. We're understanding. Pretty understanding. And this guy goes, questioning the policy isn't an attack on the cops, by the way. And then public forum. All right, a whole cast. Priest guy says, our church has also needed to remove problem people. However, the unhoused are created by bigger social problems. And then a striped shirt lady said, the Rogue Action Commission is against this new ordinance. People of color and LGBTQ are disproportionately affected. And an old guy said, this ordinance is the opposite of welcoming. Outreach courts, that's what we need. And the young guy says, this policy is a leaf blower pushing problems to somewhere else. And the bald cap lady said, this ordinance is against innovation and against equity and inclusion, helping these people will add to our economy somehow. And then the pigtail lady said, I've been to the court. Judges don't let defendants talk. Y'all don't know what that process makes defendants incriminate themselves. And then the former naked counselor's back. He says, my dignity has been attacked by this police chief, the Magna Carta, and vote no. And then Scarf Lady Street Nurse. That's a good crime fight name, Scarf Lady Street Nurse. There's a continuum of exclusion, marginalized populations. Nose ring guy said there is a fascist takeover. Trump, give people services or you are fascists. The police chief is a fascist. And this one jumps in and goes, oh, wait, you gotta take that back. He says, you can't call the chief a fascist. Nose ring guy says, he's a fascist. And she says, remove him. So then the cameras turn to see the deputy in the back go, and he grabs the next speaker in line. And the chief goes, no, not that guy. And she says, nose ring guy, get nose ring guy out of here. And nose ring guy screamed in the background, I'm free speeching or something like that. And she goes, no one attacks our community. And then they moved on, got rid of that guy. No, and then big earring person said, this ordinance keeps the poor from going to school or finding work. And bead necklace guy said, the warming shelter is great. You just give them more money to the police and so you can shelter more people there. And the green sweater lady said, there are lynchings in Mississippi and this ordinance is aligning with lynchings. God's sake. And then this guy says, I move to approve this ordinance. I'm in. And this guy goes, this is not rounding up people, but that guy who called the chief a fascist, F that guy, I got a problem with that guy. And then this one says, I support this. Black, queer, woman, recovering in recovery for 30 years. So, I check a lot of boxes, and I think this is still a good thing, and I feel good about it. And then it passed 4-2 with these two. Where did they go? These two teamed up to hate on it. They were afraid of being sued, I think, or something like that. And then the miscellaneous fees. Side-eye Sabrina Cotta, our city manager, says, she goes, Parks brought back these fees for Pioneer Hall and the community center, and here they are. They're cheaper. They didn't show us any of this. They just, we had to figure this out later. They're cheaper during the week than on the weekends, and it's cheaper at Pioneer Hall than the community center, and it's cheaper if you schedule multiple days a year. More days a year you get, the cheaper it gets. And then this guy, spoiler alert, I move to approve all fees. I love fees. And he goes, you love fees, and I love fees more. And this one goes, these fees are bullshit. And they passed 4-2. Guys with pockets full of folding money were like fine with it. They were like, yeah, let's pass that thing right there, right? And yes to the fees, apparently. And then city manager Side-Eye Sabrina Cotta, she's her city manager report said, the e-news, the e-newsletter is great, and council meetings are online at the city hall, I think. And October 14th, the coffee conversation is at North Mountain Park. AFN is adding some stuff. October 10th is some fire station thing. And Ollie classes about the city start tomorrow. Ooh, color me excited. And then the 2200 Ashland Homeless Shelter, it's moving right along. There you go. End of the meeting. You are welcome.